If I leave here tomorrow, would you still remember me? For I must be traveling on now, 'cause there's too many places I got to see. If I stay here with you, girl, things just couldn't be the same. 'Cause I'm as free as a bird now. I'm this bird you cannot change. Whoa, I'm this bird you cannot change. I'm this bird you cannot change. Welcome to the Beau Show, the home of faith, family, and freedom. Well, it's official, and after much ado, Elon Musk has finally purchased Twitter. So as he said on his Twitter account, the bird is freed. Now you know why my pumpkin behind me has the Twitter bird carved into it. This has been much anticipated and may finally bring this purchase saga to a close. Now for Twitter employees, it must be an anxious time. Musk's first moves have been to fire CEO Parag Agrawal, CFO Ned Siegel, top legal policy executive Vijaya Gadde, and general counsel Sean Edgett. At least one of those executives was escorted out Twitter's San Francisco headquarters. Musk had balked after initially offering to buy Twitter for $44 billion, as the company was not at all transparent in sharing how many accounts were bots. Musk shared a video of his grand entrance into headquarters carrying a kitchen sink. He also met with workers and had some impromptu conversations. An employee who spoke anonymously shared what it was like in the company just a day before Musk's official purchase. And I want to read some of it just so you get an inside look at how the company works inside, since it is shrouded in mystery and non-transparency. The insider said that Musk is obsessed with puns, which is why they think Musk came in with a sink, as in, let that sink in. I kind of took it a little differently, like the old idiom, throwing everything and the kitchen sink. A sort of redundancy, but kind of a Ganzemacher kind of move. Like there's a new sheriff in town. But just the fact that this anonymous employee said he's obsessed with puns makes me think this person does not have a glowing opinion of Elon Musk. The insider claims that many who were not nervous about their jobs previously now are concerned after hearing that Musk plans to lay off 75% of the staff. The person also says that he or she is not worried about their own job as they scored high on a performance review. But I think that person is naive in thinking that merely a good performance review would factor into Musk's decision. Remember that he is trying to make Twitter better and function how free speech is intended to be. It may very well be that many Twitter employees do their jobs well, but the problems and biases are systemic. It's a culture thing. The insider talks about Musk's volatility and employees who are worried about that. Well, they should be. But if they had been acting in a professionally responsible way, maybe they wouldn't be so nervous. You know, think back to the censoring of the New York Post's Hunter Biden laptop story. Think of how that changed people's votes and basically rigged it for Joe Biden. Think about all of their content moderation at Twitter. Think about them banning Donald Trump, all because they didn't like him, not because he did anything wrong. That's the kind of thing why employees should be worried. And let's consider one of the first big firings, Vijaya Gadde. She is responsible for kicking Trump off of Twitter. She told Bloomberg, quote, "No matter what we do, we've been accused of bias," unquote. Well, if you mean left-wing bias, then yes. I don't recall Twitter doing anything that could be remotely considered pro-conservative or right-wing. Gaddy wrote the following in a 2015 op-ed in the Washington Compost. Quote, "I'm often inspired by the vigorous debates on controversial issues that occur on Twitter, but I've also been seriously troubled by the plight of some of our users who are completely overwhelmed by those who are trying to silence healthy discourse in the name of free expression. At times, this takes the form of hateful speech and tweets directed at women or minority groups. At others, it takes the form of threats aimed to intimidate those who take a stand on issues," unquote. Now, that's left speak. Here's why. If Gaddy truly believed in healthy discourse, her team wouldn't moderate content related to COVID or the vaccine. They created AI to be able to moderate anything that went against WHO and CDC guidelines. Mind you, much of this guidance was unscientific, or in some cases, flat out false. When it came to the 2020 election, we have now seen evidence, hard evidence, of election felonies on a mass scale. But Twitter was insistent upon removing any mention of possible fraud. So to Gaddy and to many on the left, free speech and healthy discourse are only their version of it. It's speech that they like. Now that so many governments have revised their vaccine policies, if not downright rejected any mandates and issued warnings, Twitter still tries to moderate those warnings. How can you have a healthy discourse if users cannot raise questions about health? Think about it. They'd permit users posting videos of themselves eating Tide Pods, but you can't question Anthony Fauci. They permit the Ayatollah of Iran, who commits genocide and says death to America. They leave him on the platform, but they ban Donald Trump. Do you see how they're speaking out of both sides of their mouth? So Vijaya Gaddy presided over what many would consider to be more left-wing echo chamber than digital town hall. And according to Twitter employees, Gaddy cried in a company-wide phone call after it was announced that Elon Musk would be purchasing Twitter. Many conservatives' accounts were suspended or deleted in the past. It actually happened to me. One day, my verified blue checkmark handle was gone, and some other Beau Davidson had taken my username over. People like Gaddy have been arbiters of what stays and what goes. But rather than using a transparent way of monitoring speech, they do it in a very secretive yet biased way. They silenced Kanye West recently. And it just seems like so much of their content moderation has a certain slant to it. We talk about corporate culture. I think this is a great example of that. The problem is that Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and even Google, all act as one collective unit when it comes to speech. You can't tell them apart. Instagram is actually getting as bad as Twitter, if not worse. You can't say the word that rhymes with Maxine, or they flag it. So what will Musk do? Well, we have seen him fire 4 top execs right away. Bam, huge kudos for that. He also had Tesla engineers come in and review Twitter code to assess it and lock out Twitter's engineers from making any changes to the current code base to ensure nothing about the product changes before the acquisition is fully confirmed. That was pretty smart. Sources believe that Musk will remove Twitter's permanent blacklisting as he does not believe in lifelong bans. This might suggest a reinstatement of Donald Trump's account, should he choose to go back on. However, word is that Trump might just stay on Truth Social to help build up that new platform. But someone's account that has been restored is Kanye West, who got put in Twitter jail for anti-Semitic tweets, which he later clarified. Now, Musk says that the reinstatement happened before his takeover last week and without his consultation. Musk claims that he wants to save humanity. And if you look at his track record over time with his businesses, by electric car company Tesla, the innovative space exploration company SpaceX, and the Boring Company, he has a history of improving the plight of humanity. But can he make a supposedly free speech platform actually a bedrock of free speech? Well, if he can, then yes, he is saving humanity. He wants Twitter to be a common digital town square, and that's exactly what it should be. He wants to quintuple Twitter's revenue by 2028, supercharge its subscription business, and turn Twitter into a super app called X.